Salam and welcome. My name is Isabella Kanso. I'm a human experience specialist and your host of the Yalla, Let's Heal podcast. Growing up as a war child, refugee, immigrant, and with the dual identity of Lebanese-Canadian Muslim, I became fascinated by how experiences and labels can truly shape and mold our own narratives and identities. So who are we at the core of it all without any human labels? With the culmination of my 3-year spiritual pilgrimage, my journey took me back to where it all started, at Raíces, which is Spanish for roots. So in the era of diaspora, globalization, and integration, Yalla, Let's Heal is a space that facilitates difficult conversations around healing, offers human optimization tools to biohack your own growth, and empowers more females toward financial sovereignty. So join me here today and wherever you are in the world every Wednesday as we get to unpack and connect in honesty, rawness, and realness. I'm super excited to have you guys here with me in the launch of our newest project, which is called Yalla, Let's Heal podcast. This is our newest initiative by the School of Ikigai, especially in our rebrand of School of Ikigai, and we're so excited to have everyone here join us in this launch. Very excited, and to anyone and everyone around the world who's able to join us. So I want to introduce a little bit about who I am and why did I create, what is the inspiration behind this podcast. Some of you may know me in the light of transparency as either Susie or some know me as Isabella. Susie is my home name, it is my sacred name, it is my safe space, and Isabella is my warrior name, and it's my explorer name. It's the name that emerged out of all those years that I've battled the medical system, 12 years plus battling the medical system in order to be here right now with you. So I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited in this launch. It's been a long time coming, and yeah, it wasn't easy, especially just having culminated my 3-year spiritual pilgrimage. So the pillars of our school are 3. The pillars of our our podcast are 3: honesty, rawness, and realness. So honesty, rawness, and realness. And honesty, I'm sharing my name. In rawness, like I'm being grounded right now, sitting on my yoga mat. And realness is just being really transparent with you, being as honest, authentic, in my own voice, and sharing from within in this new chapter of my life. You know, from a very young age, I've always been very, very, very connected to energy, intrigued by energy, and it's one thing that I felt society always tried to, community always tried to block. And I realized myself just withering. I realized myself just not becoming the person that I'm meant to become. And, you know, growing up, that was the hardest thing ever for me. Not being able to voice, my truth, trying to be any other person except myself. And I realized that just kept me locked in my own bubble, in my own box, and not fulfilling my ikigai, which is Japanese for your soul purpose. You have a divine reason why you're here in this human body that you need to fulfill on a soul energetic level. And everyone has that. Everyone has this beautiful purpose that we need to fulfill. And when you're in alignment, when you're walking that, it's just so powerful. It's so magnanimous. And the impact that you have on yourself, first and foremost,
is just so revolutionary. Like, I have shivers in my legs as I say that, because you can feel that your energy field around you has changed. And by default, it's the energy people will start realizing from your own family to your community, to your network, to your friends, that there's so much changing within. And, you know, as a war child, refugee, immigrant, dual or triple identity, as a Lebanese-Canadian and as a Muslim, I always grew up with this battle of where do I fit in, on which spectrum, receiving, whether I'm too Arab or I'm too white, I'm too this or I'm too that, and how do I identify myself? Who am I? Who are we without all and none of these human man-made labels? And once you start stripping away those layers, you start realizing that you're coming back home to yourself. And I promise you, like, this feeling is the most powerful feeling that you can truly have. I'm reminiscing right now. I just culminated my 3-year spiritual pilgrimage, and I'm in my rooting phase of my spiritual pilgrimage. And it's been really moving. It's been really magical, really whimsical. And I'm here to tell you that, you know, you're not alone, that anything, I promise, is possible for you. I've battled life and death about 8 to 9 times to date or more. And I realized that the power that I seek has always lived and always been from within. Always. All I needed to do is strip away the noises around me. Strip away that negative energy field that was toxic for me, that had me shrink, that had me sink, that had me almost disappear. But I fought so hard through my mental health journey to be here today. And I knew that there was always a voice that always said to me, don't give up, you're gonna be okay. And once you're connected to that spiritual inner compass, which is yours, because you have your spirit in this body is a host. So once you start listening to it, I promise that life will be different for you. It'll be so different. It'll be just so much more powerful. So the name of our podcast launch here today, from the School of Ikigai, birthing the School of Ikigai during my spiritual pilgrimage last year, which is guiding lost souls, helpless souls, hopeless souls, to find and not to find, but to awaken and unlock your soul purpose, your gift. In Colombia, they say your don, which is your spiritual gift. You have a gift to offer to this world, and it's so powerful. So after that culmination, I realized that in my rooting phase of this beautiful journey, I wanted to bring something back home to bridge this dual identity of mine and be in the center of it, which is why I decided to launch this podcast, which is titled Yalla, Let's Heal. Yalla in Spanish means vamos, and in English means let's go. There's so many ways you could say Yalla, but if you have Arab friends around you, you'll probably always hear them say Habibi, Yalla, Yalla, let's go. So Habibi, I invite you here every Wednesday. We will be talking about many topics and we'll be having lots of thought leaders, world-class leaders, spiritual luminaries. We'll be having healers, light workers. We'll be having mental health experts and wellness experts to talk about nutrition, how you can biohack your own life, how we can also empower more females towards financial sovereignty. So with the focus on those three things of bringing healing and having those difficult conversations at home, offering human optimization tools to biohack your own growth, and also empower as many females as possible towards financial sovereignty.
Thank you so much for joining me here today in the official launch of the Yalla, Let's Heal podcast, where we get to talk about conversations that honestly are not quite talked about in our culture, religion, as society, as an immigrant, as a refugee, as a war child. So Yalla, Let's Heal is a space where we get to do all of that with openness, rawness, and realness. So see you next Wednesday, and please bring those pressing questions you've been wanting to talk about.